At this place in history, we're in Peacham with Steve Perkins, the executive director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, last week we got a general overview of sorts of the Snow Roller Museum, the only one of its kind in Vermont and maybe anywhere in America. We also have learned about the work involved in packing down the snowpack on roads with one of these. It was work that was, if not back-breaking, then certainly bone-chilling.
Oh, definitely, Mike. So Steve Gallant and Jane Alper from the Peacham Historical Association are going to give us insight into the people who did this and what it meant to operate one of these machines.
The drivers were perched on, especially the tall ones, usually on the very top in the center over two wheels that were being pulled. They were subject to the wind, they were subject to the storm as it's going on. There's a story that I've heard that they used lanterns so they could keep going at night so they could have the roads sort of ready in the daytime. Some of them are all built kind of to their own region. There's a few that have metal seats that are attached to the back. There's others that the metal seat was attached to the front, just like the hay rakes would be. In any case, it was still being pulled by animals. You were in the middle of the storm when it was happening. There was not too much storage on them. They didn't have to use ballast except on the smaller ones. They wrapped themselves in these buffalo blankets to keep warm, and it would keep the wind off of them. I heard from one of the old timers who used to drive, said that it was the coldest job he ever had. John Chandler was the one that I knew personally, and he said that if anything ever happened, if you ever slid off of it or anything, the chances to survive having one of these things roll over you would be really rough. We did not, but there were fatalities in other areas across the state. I think we had 6 teams that went out, but they usually went in pairs, that one would work for about 4 hours, take a break, and the other one would move in with their team. And the local farmers were many times the drivers because they also housed their own horses or their oxen, and they had to be with their own team.
It was formally opened on the 4th of July. We have a tractor parade in town, and in that parade, this large roller was ridden with Dick Hovey and his daughter Valerie was sitting in the box up there.
And it made a noise. They all had a bell. A couple of older women have told me that when they were kids, they'd hear the tinkle of the bell coming along so that people knew to get out of the way. But she said, we all knew that sledding was coming next. And it was just so funny that they looked at it as a real positive thing. Many of the drivers used to stop at certain farms, and they would call ahead, and the farmers' wives would have their lunch ready for them so they could actually get inside, and their teams would be watered and fed while they were eating so they'd have a break too.
So go to Peacham Historical Association online, look at the contact information, and give you a call or drop you a line and say, hey, I want to see the Snow Roller Museum.
A tinkling bell on a roadway didn't always mean an ice cream truck at this place in history.